This is Ben Davison. Subscribe to Stephen Icon.
Okay, so in the last video, I told you I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I was meaning to do it yesterday, but life gets in the way. Now, some of these Tyson Fury fanatics, now I call them fanatics, not his fans. His fans are a totally separate entity, okay? The fanatical ones, they are a minority, but they get triggered very, very easy. They will call me a hater because I point out certain discrepancies and certain contradictions that Tyson Fury will say and do. They don't like it. So they call me a hater, all that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you what a hater sounds like. I'm not a hater, but this is what a hater is going to sound like. Now, before we go too much further, what I'd like most of you to do is click a thumbs down. Whether you like this video, whether you don't, click a thumbs down. The reason being is that I want these fanatical ones who just want to come around here clicking the thumbs down, because they will quite often put in the comment section, thumbs down, thumbs down. Cool, click a thumbs down. Because I've been telling people for the longest time, but they don't want to listen, that it doesn't matter if you click a thumbs up or a thumbs down. A thumbs up and a thumbs down is purely for me. It's not for YouTube, okay? It just isn't, okay? But a thumbs up or a thumbs down is the exact equal vote as far as the YouTube algorithm is concerned. The more thumbs up and thumbs down I get, they're equal points, they will put my videos into the recommended stream, especially when you drop a comment as well. But of course, be careful what it is that you say in the comment section, because YouTube are removing a lot of comments. Okay, if you use one word that they don't like, they will remove your entire comment. So just be a little bit mindful about that. So anyway, please click a thumbs down, all right? Now, outside of Dylan Whyte helping me when I first started this channel, one of the reasons I grew quite fast, and I know a lot of you already know this, was because I'm pretty unrelenting. I'm very, very argumentative. Now, a lot of that is because of my background outside of my regular work, was that I was always part of the committees when it comes to the workers' trade unions and things like that. So, of course, you have to be very, very factual on point, because obviously there's like a lot of legalities in it, and you have to argue the point. So it's kind of in my DNA to do so. Now, I used to go in on people like Deontay Wilder for his piss poor resume, and I used to make his fanboys cry, his uploaders cry, to the point where every second video seemed to be about me. But, you know, I was just exposing them all the time, but always with truth. But in the end, what they done was they made me more popular than what I ever intended. All I ever aimed for was 1,000 subscribers. So anything beyond 1,000 subscribers has always been a bonus for me. But the tears I used to make them cry was enough to create a river of tears. Honestly, I could float down their river of tears in a family-sized canoe. And I like doing it. It's something that I like doing it. But I've had to rein myself back over the last year, maybe even 2 years really, because I wanted to concentrate more on the boxing news. I didn't just want to be a place where people come to because they know I want to come out with something sarcastic and go in on certain fighters. Okay, from time to time, of course, that's something that I'm always going to have to do because I'm very opinionated. But what I really want to do now is the boxing news, and that's what I've been concentrating on. But of course, what's very important to me as well is the Northeast boxing community up here. So Newcastle, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Darlington, etc., etc. It's where I was born. It's where I currently live. You can tell by my accent, I spent a bit of time away. But it's very important that they get a platform, something that they've never really had before, in the hope that when I interview them, that somebody from Sky, somebody from DAZN or BT Sport, wherever it may be, may see it, may see some of the footage. Of course, now I've started to film some of the fights and that now, and uploading them here. Somebody somewhere will see them and give them an opportunity on one of the big platforms, okay, for some TV scheduling time. And for a couple of fighters, it has seemed to have worked. So that's something that I've been quite intent on doing, rather than me just trolling all the time. But it does seem that some of these Tyson Fury fanatics, let me reiterate, fanatics, not his fans, okay? If you're a Tyson Fury fan, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about his fanatical ones. Don't get me wrong, a lot of boxers have fanatical ones. Some people call me a Dylan Whyte fanatic or a Anthony Joshua fanatic. But the thing is, difference is that I've always said that at some point they will take a loss. They will. And they have. But these fanatical ones, they can't ever see Tyson Fury taking a loss. It's that kind of fanboyism. But I think they've actually forgotten what I used to do. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that a lot of these fanatics are actually former Deontay Wilder fans, but now they're riding the coattails of Tyson Fury because they sound eerily the same. Eerily the same. And if they're not the same people, these guys and girls need to be hooking up, getting married, because you've got so much in common with them. It's unbelievable. It really is. Now, as I said before, I like triggering fanboys. It seems to be in my DNA. But there's a difference to being a fanboy of Tyson Fury to being a fan. There really is. And this video is not aimed at Tyson Fury, but they're going to feel like it is. Like most of my videos, especially when I was doing like a lot of the Wilder ones, they thought I was going at Wilder. I wasn't. I was going at the Fanatics because I knew it would trigger them. It creates an effect where they're going to feel compelled to put a comment in the comment section. It helps my video. Where if they see me on somebody else's live, they are compelled to try and argue with me in the live streams where they talk about me on other channels. But in reality, what they're really doing is making me popular. But the thing is, with these fanatical fans, even Tyson Fury don't like them. But they don't realise it. They really don't. So anyway, let's trigger them. Let's do a bit of it old school style, because they've been begging for it for a long time. So it's nearly Christmas and I'm in the mood for some handing out of some seasonal gifts. Now, we can kind of call this part one. Hopefully, this will be the last one that I do in this kind of way when it comes to Tyson Fury, because I don't want to do this. But the more they go on, the more videos of this I will do. Because as I said, I like doing this, and I've been biting my tongue and stopping myself from doing these kind of videos for quite some time. Many of these people have forgotten what I used to do, so let's remind them. But on a kick-off, let's give a homage to IBFP, that fan, boy, killer. Big up to him. So, Tyson Fury Fanatics. If your feelings get hurt with anything that I say in this video, this channel is not for you. If you feel compelled and feel the urge to say, ooh, Tyson, whenever you wipe, this channel is not for you. If you are one of these people who uses Tyson Fury's words to attack others who have a difference of opinion, i.e. if you call them dossers, if you start saying any man born from his mother, Dillian Blue, of course, that's something that Tyson Fury has recently come out with himself. Dillian Blue, Dillian Grey, opposed to Dillian Whyte. I've seen a lot of these fanboys start using that now. Then you are a brainwashed zombie sheep weirdo. So this channel is not for you. Okay? Now, apparently, telling the truth is hating. Now, I'm not one of these Deontay Wilder or Errol Spence fanatical radical channels, okay? I actually tell the truth. I tell the truth. You may not like the truth, but you can't change the truth. You might want to try and argue with me in the comment section. You can't beat the truth. You can't. And if I'm ever wrong on anything, I'm always the first person to hold my hand up and say, yeah, you know what, I've got that one wrong. And it's happened. It's quite rare, but it has happened from time to time. But I will always back up with everything that I say, each and every time. Now, they call me, say, a Dillian Whyte fanboy. Well, congratulations. That actually doesn't hurt my feelings, because it's true. I am a Dillian Whyte fanboy, but the difference is that I speak to Dillian Whyte quite regularly. Not as much lately, but quite regularly. These people who are radical Tyson Fury fans probably never spoken a word to Tyson in their lives. Tyson doesn't know you even exist. You may not like that, but it's the truth. And again, they're so concerned with what Sport and Icons thinks and feels of Tyson Fury. Sport and Icons is a Tyson Fury hater. I knew Sport and Icons didn't like Tyson Fury. For me, it's weird how concerned you are with what my feelings are on the man that you love more than life itself. Now, for me, honestly, don't worry about what I think. Don't worry about what I feel. Concentrate on what you like. You give me way too much power, way too much credit to worry about what I think of Tyson Fury. I've supported Tyson Fury long time before most of these radicals. Most of these radicals are only jumping on board ever since he beat Deontay Wilder. That's the truth of it. I've been following Tyson since pretty much day dot. Not as an amateur, but pro. Unfortunately, amateurs isn't really something that I spend too much time watching. That's one of my own Achilles heels when it comes to boxing. But these haters are so obsessed with wanting to know what I look like as well. And the reason being is because they're so in touch with their female side. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, I know a lot of you want me to do live streams, show my face and all that kind of stuff. I get that, and of course that's fine. I mean, that's natural. But with this lot, they want pics just so they can create pictures with my images and superimpose and Photoshop them onto other images. That's the kind of levels that they go to. Because they're weirdos. And listen, I'm not going to give you any nudes. It ain't going to happen. Okay? It really, really isn't. So stop begging. Look, much like Tyson, he ain't going to give you any either. He really, really isn't. Now, they hate when I tell them the truth, that Tyson knows about me. Guess what? He knows about me. He does. Because he used to actually retweet a lot of my videos back in the days, especially when I used to go on at the British Box Border Control and UCAD and things like that. Other videos and that as well. So he knows about me. He don't know about you. That's the truth. But again, I mean, okay, just because he knows about me, no, I've never interviewed Tyson. I've said this before. And people, these fanatics, they don't like hearing it when I say that, you know, Tyson is such a big shot celebrity now that, in fact, he's the only boxer to have ever asked me for money to do an interview. They hate when I mention that. They hate it. But it's the truth. I'm not going to lie about it. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't him directly that said, give me money. Not at all. It's certain people within his team. But maybe, who knows? I mean, maybe it's him telling them, I don't want to do an interview with Sporting Icons because he ain't going to let me get away with the usual BS that I will come out with. And if I contradict myself, he's going to pull me up. Basically, he's ducking Sporting Icons. So you know what we'll do? Tell him for some stupid amount of money that we know that he ain't going to cough up. So therefore, he ain't going to harass me for an interview. And you know what? It's worse. So maybe Tyson Fury ducking me too. Who knows? Now, they make excuses as to why Tyson should be avoiding his mandatory challenges. Every other champion out there must fight his mandatory. But Tyson, he's an entirely different entity, according to them. They make all kinds of excuses as to why he should be avoiding Dillian Whyte, saying things like, Dillian, he should take 13%, he should take 20%, or even Dillian hasn't earned his shot at the belt. And I mean, for me, I see it as a fear that Tyson may actually lose to Dillian Whyte. But of course, they'll hide behind the, no way, man, Dillian Whyte is rubbish, he's crap, he's not even gatekeeper level, he's just another Derek Chisora, all these kind of ones. He's easy work. Basically, they don't want me to give Tyson Fury credit, really. So if Tyson Fury does beat Dillian Whyte, what, I'm not supposed to give him any credit? Okay. But basically, if he's that easy, then why are you coming out of all excuses as to why he shouldn't fight him? It doesn't make any sense. If he's easy, surely you want Tyson to have an easier fight. You say how, well, Tyson, he should go after Usyk. Well, Usyk isn't on the table, mate. He's not on the table. He's got to fight someone. Why not Dillian Whyte? Why not his mandatory? Why not fulfill his WBC World Champion obligations? Why not? It doesn't make any sense. Now, if you think that Tyson Fury has already earned the title of the greatest of all time by beating Vladimir Klitschko and the one-trick pony Deontay Wilder 3 times. Yeah, Deontay Wilder, a guy who wants to be pregnant and can't stop himself twerking. This is Tyson Fury's elite win, apparently. Beating that guy 3 times. That puts him in the category as the greatest fighter of all time. You are not a boxing fan. You don't know what you're talking about. You are a fanatic. Simple as that. Now, I'm not saying that he can't go on and maybe get himself into the Hall of Fame, or maybe have the majority of people say he is the greatest heavyweight to have ever lived. Maybe he could be in that conversation, but he hasn't earned it yet. There's a few more fighters that he needs to go out there and beat. You don't get it by beating 2 people. They hate when I say that. Absolutely hate it. But of course, they feel the need to drop a comment. They call me biased. They call me a fanboy of other fighters. Congratulations. As I said before, this is not new news. I've been very open about my bias since day one. What was it, 4, 5, even 5 years ago now? I don't remember. And you know what? It's never going to change. Your comments are not going to change me. You can't win. You can't. You don't like it, but you can't win. It hurts their feelings when I point out the truth that Tyson Fury ducked Dillian Whyte when the WBC ordered him to fight for the WBC Diamond Belt that he asked for. Tyson Fury asked for the Diamond Belt. The WBC said, okay. He then changed his mind and went and fought, was it Tom Schwartz or Otto Walling? It's one of them two. Why don't you like the truth? Why is that? I mean, they're getting their feelings when I say that Tyson is not above criticism. He's not practically perfect in every way like Mary Poppins. That Tyson Fury will at some point lose a fight. They hate that. They absolutely hate that. I don't understand. When Tyson wins, you don't. If Tyson loses, you don't lose. Your bills will be exactly the same tomorrow morning as what it was this morning. It ain't going to make any difference. It really isn't. But of course, you know what? They go out, they try and find me on social media, Instagram, Twitter. Of course, they're the only two that I have. And they try and write me messages to just write some kind of troll crap. Some of them go borderline disgusting. They really do. Where I could actually sue some of them for some of the things that they say and what have you. But the truth is, I own you. I own your soul. If you feel the need to go over to social media just to troll me, just try and get my attention, I own you. It means I'm actually doing my job. In fact, I might actually do a video just with screenshots of some of the messages that people send me. I might have to do that, but you know what? Maybe we'll leave it just for now. But if they continue, I will certainly do it. Now, these people, again, they'll go on about how, well, Dillian Whyte, he got knocked out by a 40-year-old Povetkin. Okay, cool. Yeah, he did. But of course, what they will leave out is that in that fight, he was battering Povetkin. He was doing to Povetkin what nobody has ever done to Povetkin before. He was dominating him. Then one punch landed. It's heavyweight boxing. So again, just by them saying that shows they have no understanding of boxing. They really, really don't. But again, they also leave out the fact that Dillian Whyte beat him up and knocked him out in a rematch. Oh, well, he's coming off a hospital bed. Oh, he had COVID. Oh, he had this. Oh, he had that. Oh, did he? Did he really? Are you sure about that? Maybe Dillian is just too good for him. Have you ever thought about that one? But again, Povetkin is a knockout artist. Not just knocking out bums and stiffs. He's been knocking out top quality opponents. He's a former world heavyweight champion. But of course they get offended when I then counteract them and say, well, Tyson Fury got chinned by a cruiserweight, a little man, Steve Cunningham. He got chinned by a journeyman, Nevin Pajek. He lost the first fight with John McDermott. He did. He got chinned 4 times to the canvas, 4 against a one-trick pony, Deontay Wilder. That will tell you that there are flaws in Tyson Fury's game. There are flaws. There's a reason why Wilder's resume is crap, because he doesn't fight elite fighters, because they can counter him. Fury got hit to the canvas on 4 occasions. Why don't you like that? As I said before, you may not like the facts, but you can't change the fact. It's not my opinion, it's a fact. And there's nothing you can do about it. I'm sorry, but there really, really isn't. And of course, they give Tyson Fury a pass for ducking Joshua for £100 million. He denied you an undisputed fight in one of the biggest fights ever in boxing between himself and Anthony Joshua. He denied you that. And you give him a pass. Just so he can go fight a guy for a 3rd time that he's already beaten twice already. Even his own dad, John Fury, told you it was the biggest con job in boxing, and you still give him a pass. You still make excuses. But again, I mean, if you feel the urge to go to other people's channels and talk about me in a hateful way, then again, as I said before, I own your soul. You're making me popular. You are feeding the machine. So thank you very much for putting my name out there. I do really appreciate it. But again, these very same people, just because they get hurt because I've said something about Tyson, they'll say, well, Dillian Whyte's a PEG cheat. Where's the B sample? But then act all offended or run away and they can't counter it when I say, you do realise Tyson Fury has had a 2-year ban on his resume, and it's quite recent. Wild boar meat, remember? Now, I don't know if that's true. I believe Tyson Fury didn't do anything intentional. But it's a fact. It's on his resume. You can't change that. You may not like it, but you can't change it. Now, again, if you're like another channel, another uploader out there who feels the need to talk about me in your trash videos, well, it's quite clear. You are a garbage channel who wishes you was me. There's only one sport and icons, as Tyson Fury once said. Well, he didn't say there's only one sport and icons. He said there's only one Tyson Fury. But the truth is, you'll never be good enough. If you feel the need to make videos about me and mention me in your videos, then you are not good enough to compete with me. You are clearly not on my level. You hate the fact that you're doing what you're doing and I'm doing what I'm doing. But again, there's a very, very good chance that I won't even know that you've done it. So really, all you're doing is you're talking to thin air. I only watch channels. Again, little exclusive for you. I only watch channels that I am subscribed to. And if I am subscribed to them, it means I like their content. If I don't like your content, if I don't like your narratives, I don't watch you, okay? I'm not a glutton for punishment. I'm not into the whole self-harming. If I think you're going to make me angry by watching your videos, I won't watch them. Very, very simple. You're wasting your time by talking about me. But again, you know what? You're feeding the machine. You really are. But again, it hurts some of these radical Tyson Fury fans' feelings. You know, they get into their victim mentality. You know the kind of ones I'm talking about. And of course, they try and twist words that I didn't even say. They try and twist it to make out that Tyson Fury is some kind of god, and I've hurt their feelings because I said something. I mean, I'll give you an example. I said that I will never go to a Tyson Fury talk show tour. Of course, he does that tour around the UK and what have you, and people go to them. And the reason I said that I will never do that is because I don't want to spend my money on listening to a man who's been saying the same stuff over and over and over again for the past 3 years, ever since he come back into boxing. He's been giving the same speech over and over again. If I want to hear that speech, I can stay at home and I can watch it on YouTube. I don't have to go to an event and watch it. But of course, they try and twist it like I said, oh, Sport Icons, he doesn't think that Tyson Fury was really mentally depressed and blah, blah, blah. I never said that. I said I don't want to go somewhere and pay for something to hear him talk about the same old stuff that he's been talking about for the past 3 years. And good on him for doing it, but I ain't going to pay my money for it. Don't like it? Oh well, unlucky. But of course, it also hurts their feelings when I say that Tyson Fury not only ducked Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua for 100 million, but he ducked David Price some years ago as well. Not my opinion, fact. And again, you think by calling me biased, you think by calling me a hater, it's going to change my ways? Please stop exporting. You're hurting us. You're hurting our feelings. Listen, I'm only ever going to change anything that I do and listen to people who I know have been supporting me. If I just see you as a troll, you think I'm going to listen to you? No. I'm interested in giving my subscribers, those who do support me, content that they want, not what you want. I'm not going to change it for you. You are a minority. I work towards to the majority, not the minority, if I can speak. And again, and I'm sure a lot of you have realised this as well, is that when you go onto social media, especially like Twitter and that, and you kind of allow yourself to be engaged with some of these radical fans, is that their way of debating with you is coming out with some complete, utter rhetoric. It's complete garbage. It's like you're talking to a 5-year-old. And you know that they're fanatical ones when they keep on using GIFs. They use GIFs. This is what women use. Women use GIFs. These men, these grown men, apparently grown men, use GIFs. GIFs, G-I-F-S, GIFs. These little pictures. That is weird. I mean, for me, that shows me how you probably just want to be Tyson's bit on the side because you're so in touch with your female feelings. Don't use GIFs on me. Okay, because that just shows me the kind of level that you're really at. But again, you see, they will repeatedly come here, they'll troll me because they're upset about something that I said before. Then, as I said before, I own your soul. This channel really isn't for you. Don't self-harm yourself. If you don't like me, that's fine. You don't know me. If you don't like my opinion, that's fine. I'm not going to change my opinion for you. It ain't going to happen. It really, really isn't. And again, they don't like it when, of course, I say to them, why are you buying memorabilia of Tyson Fury when you've never even spoke to him? For me, that just shows that you are an absolute weirdo. You're a weirdo. If you want some signed memorabilia, go meet up with Tyson. Go get him to sign it. Don't buy it off some random websites, but people do. It's unbelievable. It really is. But in a nutshell, listen, I've gone on long enough about this one. This is really just going to be part one. Okay, next time I'll really go in on you. I will. And I'll start using all kinds of images and I'll really, really make you cry. I will. Okay? Because at the end of the day, if you troll me, I like to be trolled. I've said this before. I like it. It gives me content. It really does. But I'll keep on going. Go ask these Wilder fans. Go ask these channel uploaders. They were living in fear every single day. Sport and Icon was going to bring out a video. They were living in fear of it. Because I counteracted everything that they said and done. And at no point was I ever proven wrong. And a lot of people are actually turning on Tyson Fury right now. Because of you fanatics. But, you know, they'll probably like it. Well, we get to keep him for ourselves. We can have a little cuddle with him. Well, at the end of the day, all I really want, and all anybody should really want, is Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte next. Yes, you may want Undisputed, but it ain't happening. In the meantime, Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. It's a mega fight. Most people want to see it. For those who say we don't want to see that fight, we don't need to, it means that to me, you are worried about something. You're worried. For me, I want Dillian Whyte to beat Tyson. I want it to happen. It don't mean it's going to happen. You may not like to hear me say it, but I do want Dillian Whyte to win. I've never ever wanted Tyson Fury to lose in my life. But against Dillian, I want him to lose. Is that going to happen? Who knows? Anyway, hope you're all well. Subscribe, click a thumbs up, click a thumbs down. Make sure that you do one or the other. And of course, comment below. Drop your thoughts below. Catch you all on the next video.